Hey guys, got a pickup video. It's not a very substantial one as far as games go, but I have a few figures and some of my favorite Hot Wheels cars and stuff. And yeah, one other thing that I picked up that I wanted to show you. I have a little bit of a sore throat, so I might be sipping on this water here pretty frequently. But one of the first things I grabbed was off of a Facebook group, and it was the upper torso of DC Universe Public Enemy's Brimstone figure, and this is it right here from the waist up. And all I need, as you can see, is the left leg, and excuse me. Those are a couple on eBay, but they're pretty expensive. I wasn't able to pick the last remaining piece that I wanted to get the rest of the figure up. Excuse me. Pretty cool looking. He's done sort of an animated style, and so was the rest of the Public Enemy's line, which was based off of a comic that had a movie, an animated movie based on that comic. And you can see Brimstone in the movie for about half a second. He gets knocked down, but I can't remember who. Somebody takes him out. So it's kind of an odd choice for a build figure. One cool thing that I wanted to point out is that his arms are actually translucent. I don't know if you can see it on here, but they go translucent, and then they start getting painted up toward the shoulder area. His head is permanently attached. It doesn't move at all, but otherwise it's basically the same figure as Kilowog and Archillo and Validus. Uses the larger collect and connect figure that the big beefy strong looking dude figure guy thing. And I found this here. Oh shit. I found this very cool Evil Weevil, and it's pretty similar to the one that came out in 1985 as far as the paint scheme goes, so that's actually a pretty cool little tribute there to the original one. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a new video about all of these where I just show all of them at once, because I have a lot of them. Not all of them, but I have a lot of them, and I have a couple of loose ones here from a 5-pack. Here's a Gargoyle. Again, he was originally orange, and there was one repaint at the same time that came with a playset that was yellow, and that yellow one was actually used for the card artwork back in the mid-80s. And then the other one I grabbed from this 5-pack, and the other ones I gave away. This is Zombot. It was always advertised as rolls and stands like a transformer. He's got a cool translucent plastic. Usually it was a metallic car with chrome paint on it, and then this gun here would be a different color chrome, like purple or something, and then the details on it would be these tempo graphed paints would be shiny also. Very cool. Not one that you see terribly often anymore is Zombot. You see a lot of Gargoyle, you see a lot of Evil Weevil, Ratmobile. Some of the other ones are getting a little more obscure. I also grabbed the 2-disc Justice League Throne of Atlantis movie. This is pretty good, even though it's New 52 stuff, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to see established characters that you know have been existing for a very long time act as if they are meeting for the very first time. This, I am surprised at just how violent and gory it is, because, you know, these are things that people tend to buy for their children just on the basis of the fact that it's got Superman in it and Batman right on the cover. They don't bother to check out the PG-13 on the back, but seriously, this has like dismemberments, beheadings, all kinds of stuff, like impalings. It's great. Just not for the kids, unless your kids are smart enough to discern fantasy from reality, or vice versa. I also picked up, and just hear me out, Ouija. This movie's fucking terrible. It is awful. And it was sort of a little Trojan horse. I had no idea that this was produced by Platinum Dunes. I had no idea that it was gonna have the Hasbro logo in the credits. It didn't in the beginning, it did at the end. It was a little trick. But I should have known, because, you know, Parker Brothers is owned by Hasbro. Which, on a side note, Parker Brothers owned ROM, the Space Knight, and technically, since Hasbro owns Parker Brothers, they can make a ROM Space Knight Marvel Legends figure if they wanted to. They don't need any permission. They can do it. Also, in the video, in terms of video games, let's see. I got Rayman Legends for the Vita. This is a little easier than Origins, I think. I haven't completed Origins, so I'm not going to really dive too far into this. I just liked the fact that this was only $10 at Walmart, and it was a Vita game, and my Vita has been woefully neglected as far as games are concerned, and I need to get back into playing games on the thing. I have been playing a lot of Resogun, which is absolutely incredible, and if you didn't nab it when it was $3 on that flash sale, just get it for whatever full price it is now, because it's just a great game. And I got this Grand Theft Auto 3-pack. I have said many times that I don't like this series, and I have reasons for it, but I'm going to give these games a shot, and a little bit more, be a little more open-minded about it, because, you know, I'm not going to go out and commit crimes. My brother-in-laws, they're completely easily influenced by this type of thing, and it's actually what I hold against the series being a little irresponsible with what it is, because it doesn't matter what the game is rated. It doesn't matter. Children are going to get a hold of these, and some unstable children, like my brothers-in-laws that I have 1,000 of, that all have some sort of thing going on with them mentally, are just not, they shouldn't play those games. But moving right along. Excuse me. Another sip of water. Just like adults shouldn't have action figures. So here we go. Here is Masters of the Universe Classics. It says Ninja Warrior because they lost the licensing rights, or trademark rather, to his real name, which is Ninjor, to Bandai, and that is now a Power Ranger character. Ninjor is a Power Ranger character. So this figure comes with a lot of pieces, which is pretty cool. He has a second head, the unmasked head. It's down here underneath the label, and He comes with a belt that you can put on him, or it also can be used for the Jitsu figure that came out a couple of years ago. He comes with his sword, his nunchucks, his bow and arrow, and there is a place to store all of them on his back, which is unusual for this line. A lot of the things that come out for this this action figure line, they can't store their weapons anywhere except for a couple of figures. And then yeah, so there is some embellishments on this one as far as details go compared to the original version. The original version had a fabric tunic that covered up his head and torso and then tied in the back, and the belt would hang down. Essentially it was more or less just a Skeletor figure with a different head, and this one is like, you know, it's got three-dimensional sculpting on the chest for the insignia, and the wrinkles are they're you know, sculpted in, and these straps and stuff weren't there to begin with, and the hood is also different. It used to be just a smooth hood because it was just one nylon piece of fabric. And ooh, do you hear that? It was one nylon piece of fabric, and it covered up his whole head, and except for his eyes. And the other figures were Snake Armor He-Man, and this is called Battle Armor King Hiss, but this is a 2002 style King Hiss from the 2002 Masters of the Universe cartoon. This armor was in the second season of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe from the 2002 cartoon that appeared on Cartoon Network during 2002 and 2003, and they finally got around to doing a version of this figure here in classic style. He has new haircut, he has new face sculpt, it looks like, and otherwise it looks pretty much like the figure that came out in the 2002 line, with the exception of the logo uses the classic one instead of the one that was on 2002, which was more like a stylized H, but it didn't really look right. And then his upper torso comes off, and there's giant massive snakes. It doesn't come with this 2-pack. You have to wait and find out later on in the year what figure it's going to come with, which is kind of sneaky and bullshit, but it's the way they operate, and I'm kind of glad that this is probably the last year, because they just keep going up in price. And then lastly is the Spirit of King Grayskull. This is a chase figure. It was available very briefly for early access to subscribers on the 12th. It will pop up on Matty Collector periodically throughout the year. Excuse me. And then again, it'll be available for open orders, I think, in December, if there's any left over. And he glows in the dark and looks really cool. Actually, if you look at his face, he looks kind of like China from WWF before she had plastic surgery. Look at that jaw. And just to show you, this was actually, King Grayskull was actually the very first figure from the Masters of the Universe Classics line. It was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure. This is the box that it came in, and it has some little blurb on the back about what he is. He was actually He-Man's ancestor on the cartoon. And then when you open the box up, there's another box inside. I already have it sort of assembled here, and what it did is you could take this top part, and the flaps on the sides came out, and you push this down and make a little Castle Grayskull. And when you open up the door, it would do the light and sounds. See here, do that again. Pretty cool. That was a pretty cool exclusive. That was only like 25 bucks back then. Now that's like, one of these figures costs like almost $30. And that was back in 2008. So they've skyrocketed on Matty Collector alone, not on the secondary market. Yes, on the secondary market they have gone up, but yeah, scalpers everywhere. And but yeah, Mattel really, they got us right where they want us. For those of us that are completionists and stuff like that, but and wanted to show three other things that I found upstairs. I got this Game Boy Color instruction manual from when I had a Game Boy Color. Gargoyles Quest 2 instructions. You might know somebody that would be interested in that. Starship Hector. I used to give my friend Hector shit about this. And Mega Man 6 instructions. I don't have the NES Mega Mans anymore because I was a stupid fucking idiot. And I had all 6 games on the NES, and I had Mega Man 7 in the box for the Super Nintendo, and then I bought the Anniversary Collection for the GameCube, and then I immediately gathered up all of those games along with Mega Man 8 for the PS1. I used to have the Saturn one a really long time before that, and I don't know why I got rid of it, but I did. And anyway, I went and traded those in at the bookstore where I buy my my games at, and got quite a bit in credit, and then now I regret it, but what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna pay whatever people are charging for Mega Man 5 or Mega Man 6 these days. No way. I mean, I got Mega Man 5, I got it for free. It's given to me. And I took for granted all the connections I had back in those days, because I just figured all that stuff would be around forever and I wouldn't have to worry about any of it, you know, if easy come, easy go, easy come back. Which is why I just kind of passed over games like Scat and Power Blade and Shatterhand, because they were marked a little bit higher since they were as common. Or the Tengen Tetris, another one that I just passed on for some reason, because I didn't want the unlicensed games at that point in time. And now I would kind of like to have some of those Tengen releases, because they're actually pretty good. Like that version of Tetris is better than the one that Nintendo put out. Didn't mean to just kind of babble on here. I was actually just going to show you a pickup video, but man, I have a motor mouth sometimes, and I don't have very many people to talk to, so sorry about that. Anyway, I hope you tolerated me through this video and enjoyed seeing what I showed you. And I'll maybe do a different type of video again in the not too distant future, and I'll just see where that goes. Hopefully I can get my tax situation sorted out and maybe get a new camera or a new computer, because we really need a new computer. Yeah. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.